Hey guys, and welcome to another video on my channel. Thank you for tuning in. For everybody who doesn't know me, my name is Vaka. I'm 24 years old. I'm the youngest car rental owner here in Dubai. I've got a fleet of over 15 cars worth close to $5 million. And in this video, I want to discuss with you guys on how you can minimize your losses with reckless drivers who are renting cars from your car rental business. So let's jump straight into it. The car rental business is in some sort of way a risky business if you don't know how to handle some cases. What kind of cases do I mean by that? Let's say somebody is speeding, somebody damages your car, some people who are not allowed to drive your cars are driving your cars get into an accident, how do you fix it quickly? All these kind of things can turn into losses if you don't know how to handle them, but also can be positive for you because you can, charge your customers for it and make maybe a small profit out of it. So in this video, I'm going to discuss 5 points on how you can minimize your losses in your car rental business. Step 1, choose wisely who you rent out your cars to. Basically, first thing you obviously need to do is make sure the car you are renting out is insured on the person. So let's say you can only allow to rent out your cars to 21-year-olds because that's your rental policy, because your insurance company gave you that rule. It has to be minimum 21 years old. For us, it's 18 years old and that's fine. But so for some insurance, it might be just from 21. Whenever you do this, you need to obviously know your insurance policy. But even if someone is 21 years old and you have a bad feeling about this customer, well, simply just reject the booking. And we do it many times. Like, I myself don't do the customer support anymore, but then my customer support sees something suspicious, or they're like, I don't know if the boss, me, Vaka, will allow it to rent them the car. They will send me their IDs and I will say yes or no. I can by now tell by the ID if a customer is going to be good or no. Like, I will be straight up honest, I'm not a racist or anything. I'm also mixed race. I grew up in Germany. I'm not from Germany. I'm like 2 different nationalities. But we always had problems with people from the UK with migration, like maybe UK Pakistanis, UK people from Morocco and stuff like this. There are the people who we had always issues with, racking up fines, driving recklessly, getting into accidents. These are the kind of people who are always making problems for us. So from now on, I said anybody who is below 21 and from this country and like is a bit mixed race, we don't rent them out cars because it's not worth it. Why would I rent them out cars if, like, let's say 7 out of 10 people always get fines and always we have problems with them? So I said simply, we are not renting out these cars anymore to these kind of people. So we do decline bookings. Even if you deliver the car to the customer and you see maybe he's not well behaved, he's rude, I would simply say, hey man, I'm sorry, but we cannot rent this car. I don't feel comfortable giving you this car because it's your good right. It's your car. These cars are worth up to $300,000, $500,000 US. Of course, you want to make sure that you're renting it out to someone who will take good care of your car. So don't be afraid on canceling or declining bookings on where you have a bad feeling about them. Over the time, you will get a feeling for it, who you can rent them out, who you cannot, because you're going to be saving up money in the long run by not renting out these cars to these kind of people who are just making issues for it, than maybe collecting this 1-day rental which they were saving up for 1 year, because these are the people or the clients who you don't want to, because they don't even have the money to pay for the damages in the end. All they had the money was to rent it for 24 hours. But what if any damages? Well, they're not going to be paying because they don't have any money. Step 2, should I take deposits? Yes or no? 100% you should take deposit. The reason for this is because it's going to be such a headache for you collecting the money from people who are not paying their fines, who have gotten into damages, because you will realize when they want their deposit back, they are on you 24/7. They, hey, when is my deposit come back? When is this? When is this? But when they owe you, they will take their time to pay. They will not reply to you. They will ignore you. But when you have their money, you believe me, they're onto it. They want their money back. So always take deposits, and I would recommend for you to take higher deposits from younger clients. Let's say from like 18 to 21 is certain deposit, from 21 to 25 also certain, and the older they get from like 25 upwards, a lower deposit. But the younger clients are mostly the ones who are speeding, who are doing stupid stuff, and I would always take more deposit from them. In Dubai, we don't take so much deposit. The deposit limit is quite low. I know in Germany, for example, people take like 5,000 euros, which is around, like $6,000 US as a deposit. Here in Dubai, we take only around 1,500 $500 for a Lamborghini Huracan Evo Spider, which is crazy cheap. Like, but that's just how it is, and you cannot be asking them for 20,000 AD, you know, which is around 5,000 US dollars, 6,000 US dollars. So, you know, we have to stick to the rules, we have to play along with the game. But in the US it might be different, or in Germany. So you make sure that, you know, you're kind of in the same range with the others, but take deposits, because it's gonna save you so much headache. You can just deduct it from them when something comes after a few days. You can just deduct it and then just give them back the rest. But make sure you're being honest with them and you are actually returning the deposit. I would maybe recommend for you to open a separate bank account just for the deposit, so you, whenever you look at your bank account, don't think, oh, I've got tons of money on it, because you rented out, let's say, 20 cars in one day and you collected $5,000 from each client, and then you have, you know, loads and loads of money on your account, and you think, oh, things are going well, I can now buy a new car. But then whenever you need to return these deposits in 2 weeks, you don't have the money, you know. But if you have a separate account just for the deposit, which is not getting touched and not getting used for anything, then you don't get into the sticky situation of you not being able to pay back the deposits, because that's very bad and people will just call you a scammer. You're just gonna lose out on the business. It's a common problem here in Dubai. Step number 3, make sure you have a very strong contract. In your contract, you need to explain and save yourself from anything which will happen whenever the customer rents out the car. This contract is literally like the law for you, you know? Whenever the customer signs it, you need to make sure that everything is literally covered. From them speeding, from them doing damages, from them letting other people drive who are not even insured on the car, who they didn't tell they're gonna be driving, when they're smoking, drinking, everything. For you, I would recommend get a lawyer by your side, you know? What you can also do is, you know, when you don't wanna get a lawyer, you don't have a budget, ask for a few contracts from other car rental companies in your area. Text them from your private phone, be like, hey, I want to rent a car from you, but I want to guys check out your rental policy to see if it fits to my needs and if that's all okay. No problem, they will send it to you. You have 3 to 5 contracts, and then you just make a mix out of all of them, take and pick and choose all the points you think are relevant to you, and then you can use this contract. But of course, it's much better and more recommended to use a lawyer for you to know what is allowed and what will actually go through in court, you know? Like, you cannot write in the contract whenever you scratch the rim, he has to pay for the whole car. That's not gonna work. So it's better to have a lawyer by your side who can explain, okay, these steps are actually realistic and they will be useful in court, and we can get this from the client. So your rental contract needs to be very strong and strict. Ours is super strict because we don't want any problems from our renters. For example, when they speed 3 times over the speed limit, the first time we tell them, hey, don't speed. The second time we tell them, you are speeding again, now you got a fine of $100 US. And the third time, if you're gonna be speeding, if they're speeding 30 kilometers over the speed limit, third time we're taking the car from you and you're not getting a refund. Simple as that, because you have to stick by the rules. There are speed limits for a reason. Just stick to them. These are not your cars, they are our cars, so we decide how we want the people to take care of our cars. So we simply just take the car away from them if they're speeding the whole time, and they cannot do anything because it was written in the contract, if you're speeding, we will take the car if you're not listening to us. 4th point, strong business relationships with other car rental companies. This is a very important point when you are starting out, because whenever something happens which is unexpected, which will sadly happen in this business, you can always call them up and ask them for help. My customer got into an accident, what do I do? My customer did this and this, what do I do? So making sure you are in a good relationship with a lot of car rental businesses is always very good for multiple reasons. Don't think they're your enemies, because it's not like this. You know, you can always make business with them together. They can help you. You know, whenever something is wrong, you can ask them for help. Hey, where do I fix my car the fastest? Hey, my customer did this and this, where do I get this fixed now? So make sure you're always in a good relationship, because you can also take cars from them. Let's say your G63 got into an accident and your best customer is coming and he booked his G63 and it got smashed one day before. You call up your best car rental companies, bro, I have a problem, I need a G63 for tomorrow, hook me up, give me a good deal. Bam, they gave you a good deal, you earned maybe 30% commission on it, and that's cool, you know? If you don't have a good car rental company connection, they'll just tell you, nah, I'm not interested, you know? Or they will give you a very good price and you just lost on money. You know, you can also sublease cars from them always. So that's a very important point. Point number 5 and the last point, strong business relationships with car garages. So people or garages which fix your cars, they're gonna be your best friends, because your cars are sadly gonna be in service quite a lot. So whenever they're in service, you are obviously losing money. So what you need to do is speed up the process of when the cars are getting repaired, and this is only possible with a good business relationship with car garages. So make sure whenever you go there, don't send your employees, go there yourself, be the boss who goes there and talk to the owner, maybe give them a small gift once in a while, bring them a bottle of wine, a box of chocolates, pack of cigars, something along these lines, because they are the most valuable and most important people. Because let's say something happens to your car and you've got a super important client on the next day and you need it fixed ASAP, and then they tell you, sorry, we're busy. Nah, if you are friends with them, they will be like, okay, we have to do everything to get this car fixed. This is one of our good clients, this is one of our close friends, we're getting this car fixed ASAP. Bring the car here, we'll fix everything up. Also prices, they will not rip you off. You know, car garages tend to maybe rip off people and pretend, oh, this is broken, this is broken, this is broken, whenever it's not really broken and doesn't need any changing, you know. But when you're friends with them, they will not upcharge you and they will not fake anything and tell you, oh, you need to get this and this fixed. So car garages make very well connection. Have one for everything. One who's changing tires, one is doing body work, one is doing PPF, one is doing tuning, whatever. Have your circle in there and make sure you visit them frequently and stay in touch with them. So guys, this was pretty much it with the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you could learn something. In case you're ever in Dubai, you can always rent a car from me. My company is called GMZ Car Rental. Check out all my other socials down below. This is a new YouTube channel I've created just for educational purposes. Check out my socials down below, where I have loads and loads of other channels where I talk about educational stuff, but also where I talk about cars in general and car reviews. So everything is linked down below. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed and see you next video.